Welcome back to another Same Spotlight. Today I have Brennan Kamer. I see here that you are in your last year, you're a senior, and you're a biology major.
Yes.
And I know that you were able to have such a great 2019
yes,
summer.
It was a good 2019 summer.
More than most. So first we would just like to know, as a Thomas More student, what activities have you been involved in on campus?
Sure, absolutely. So my freshman year, I actually was fortunate enough to start the Thomas More shooting program here. More recently, I've been doing independent research studies with Dr. Stephanie Schneider in the biology department. We are surveying 3 different watersheds in Boone County to see the macroinvertebrate populations and how that fluctuates with herpetiles, which are reptiles and amphibians. And then I'm also involved in several clubs, such as biology club and chemistry club.
What experiences have stood out more than most in your mind?
Definitely research. I was always interested in animals, but I wasn't sure what path I wanted to take with that. So having research experiences, anything from just a simple lab experiment that I would conduct over 2 weeks to my current independent research study that's been going on for about 8 months or so. I definitely love the experiences that I've learned through that research, but also the chances to go to the biology field station. I was fortunate enough to work there as a semester as a work study, doing a lot of different things with the animals there, such as just husbandry behavior, so helping them learn how to, eat without being in the environment, but also making sure their tanks stay clean and doing some water chemistry.
So you had an internship in Clearwater, Florida.
Yes.
Could you fill us in as to what exactly your internship was, who it was through, what did your summer look like, and how were you able to obtain that internship?
I took an internship as a marine mammal training intern in Clearwater, Florida at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium Hospital. If you're familiar with the story of Dolphin Tale, the movie that came out several years ago about Winter, the tailless dolphin, that's actually the facility that now currently houses her and took care of her with her prosthetic tail. So I was able to get this internship because I have a family member who has a house in Florida just outside of Clearwater. So every time we would go down there for spring break when I was growing up, we were able to go to the aquarium, and then when the movie came out, we were able to say, hey, I saw that being filmed, or I saw that dolphin. And then I got to college and I started thinking about internships, and I just happened to wonder if Clearwater did internships. So I kind of just did a Google search. It turns out they did. I updated my CV. I got a couple letter of recommendations. Got my cover letter ready, turned it in, and about a month later, I was fortunate enough to get an interview. And then a month later, from that, I was very fortunate enough to get chosen as one of the 10 marine mammal training interns. So it really was kind of a little bit of luck, I guess. I wouldn't have been able to go down to Clearwater if it wasn't for Thomas More, I don't think, because I was able to learn everything from just basic animal behavior to how to interact with animals. And then Dr. Schneider wrote an incredible letter of recommendation that actually got me into my foot in the door there. So definitely couldn't have done it without the experiences here. At Clearwater, we actually trained our dolphins for different behaviors. Same with our river otters. We also worked with nurse sharks and great white pelicans. So we actually trained for different behaviors, such as with the dolphins. We trained all their fun flips and jumps that we see in shows. Those are actually just exercise behaviors to make sure that they stay healthy and safe, because they're not going to be able to go home. A lot of the animals there are permanent residents, so we want to make sure that they have the best quality of life. Since they are permanent residents at that facility, they need to make sure they have good health care, just like we do. So we actually technically are their doctors. We do have a vet tech on staff down there. They can do voluntary blood samples. They're perfectly fine with getting pricked by a needle, which some of us have issues with. They're perfectly fine with giving urine samples. I worked 4 days a week for 10-hour days, so that's 40 hours a week. So there were some long weeks, but I did have 3 days off, and I got to enjoy Florida and Clearwater down there. I was fortunate enough to have free housing through my family member. She was not using her house at the time, so I got to have a whole house in Seminole, Florida, which is 20 minutes outside of Clearwater. It was definitely a fun internship down there that I would probably do again for sure. Loved it a lot.
During your internship, what was your favorite marine animal to work with and why?
I think my favorite marine animal to work with, that is, would probably be the Atlantic bottlenose dolphins down there. And because, just like humans, they have different personalities. For example, Nicholas, the only male dolphin down there, is very fond of high energy behaviors. He loves to exercise. Where Hope, one of the female dolphins down there, hates exercise. It's like trying to pull teeth to get her to exercise. And she'll let you know if she's not happy. She'll smack the tail, or smack her tail on the water to show you she's frustrated. Nicholas gets really excited when he gets a behavior correct, and when he gets a behavior wrong, he actually gets mad at himself.
Did you think that this opportunity helped you determine your path after graduation?
It did, absolutely. I was never really sure what path I wanted to take with my animal loving and biology major. If I wanted to go the path of husbandry, animal behavior, and zookeeping. This was very very similar to that, or if I wanted to take the path towards graduate school and the research side and that path. So this internship, while it was amazing, definitely told me that my path is actually going to be research and graduate school. And that is because while the hours were fine, the animals are amazing, personally I feel I would do a lot better on the research side, but I have found opportunities to where I can research animal behavior and still work with animals directly.
All right, that's awesome. Well, I'd like to thank you again for stopping in and giving us
Absolutely.
just,
Thank you for having me.